Hello everyone, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Elizabeth, but I go by Beth, and this is going to be episode 2 of my mythology and video game parallel series, where I look into the different parallels and similarities between the Daedric Princes and Divines of the Elder Scrolls series, the Evanuris / the old gods of the Dragon Age universe, as well as the various deities, demons, what have you, of Greek mythology, because that's the mythology that I'm most familiar with. Anyways, so last episode, we looked at Azura, and I'm going to be continuing with the Daedric Princes, and next up in alphabetical order, we have Boethia. So, Boethia is, according to UESP, Boethia is known as the Prince of Plots, the Daedra Prince of Cruelty and Torture, the Dark Warrior, Deceiver of Nations, Queen of Shadows, Goddess of Destruction, Hunger, and Fount of Inspiration, He who destroys and she who erases, Boethia the Schemer, the Dark Mistress, and called Boethra by the Khajiit, is a Daedric prince who rules over deceit, conspiracy, secret plots of murder, assassination, treason, and unlawful overthrow of authority. This spirit is destructive in nature, and Boethia's destructiveness comes from inspiring the arms of mortal warriors. The Dark Warrior has been described as cold and impersonal, cruel, and one of the more demonic of the Daedra lords. Worshippers are known to hold bloody competitions in Boethia's honor, battling, even killing each other, for Boethia is said to care only for their blood. In Morrowind, the Daedra known as the Hunger, foul creatures that are essentially bone-thin, are associated with the prince. Okay, so, and then I'm just gonna also read this little snippet. So this is from Boethia's Glory, but it says, "Look upon the face of Boethia and wonder. Raise your arms that Boethia may look on them and bestow a blessing. Know that battle is a blessing. Know that death is an eventuality. Know that you are dust in the eyes of Boethia." So, Boethia's realm is attribution share. So, like with Azura, we're just going to focus on the first sphere. In this case, the first one that they describe is deceit. So, with that being said, our Dragon Age equivalent of Boethia in terms of deceit is Ben-Hurel, the Dreadwolf. He who hunts alone, Lord of Tricksters, the Great Wolf, Roamer of the Beyond, the Old Wolf, is the elven god of betrayal or rebellion. So I'm just gonna read this codex entry from the, so it is Ben-Hurel the Dreadwolf. The legend says that before the fall of Arlathan, the gods we know and revere fought an endless war with others of their kind. There is not a Haren among us who remembers these others. Only in dreams do we hear whispered the names of Galderon and Darendal and Enaris, for they are the forgotten ones, the gods of terror and malice, spite and pestilence. In ancient times, only Fen'Harel could walk without fear among both our gods and the forgotten ones. For although he is akin to the gods of the people, the forgotten ones knew of his cunning ways and saw him as one of their own. And that is how Fen'Harel tricked them. Our gods saw him as a brother, and they trusted him when he said that they must keep to the heavens while he arranged a truce. And the forgotten ones trusted him also when he said that he would arrange for the defeat of our gods if only the forgotten ones would return to the abyss for a time. They trusted Fen'Harel, and they were all of them betrayed. And Fen'Harel sealed them away so they could never again walk among the people. So that is from the Codex entry, Fen'Harel the Dreadwolf. This is all coming from the Dragon Age wiki. So he was known as kin to both the creators and the forgotten ones. His supposed betrayal of both clans of gods by sealing them away in their respective realms, never again to interact with the mortal world, is sometimes used to explain why the elven gods, particularly the benevolent creators, did not intervene to prevent the fall of Arlathan. Fen'Harel is said to have spent centuries in a far corner of the earth after his great deception, hugging himself and giggling madly in glee. Okay, so that is Fen'Harel. And then, last but not least, for our Greek mythology equivalents, we have, and please forgive me if I pronounce this name wrong, but it is Apati. So there are two sources that I'm pulling this from. We have theoi.com as well as the Myth and Folklore Wiki. So from theoi.com, it's not as, it just has like literature quotes here. But, okay, so in theoi.com, it says that Apati was the personified spirit of deceit, deception, guile, and fraud. She was a companion of the Pseudologoi, and her male counterpart was Dolos, demon of trickery, and her opposite number was Aletheia, the spirit of truth. Okay, so that's coming from theoi.com, and then from the Myth and Folklore Wiki, which is a little bit more in-depth, it explains that she is the daughter of Nyx via parthenogenesis. So in mythology, she only appears in the myth that mentions about the birth of Dionysus. So both siblings are as follows. We have Moros, Ker, Thanatos, Hypnos, Theonoroi, Momus, who is the god of ridicule and satire. I only know this because one of our cats, he is now playing on the Rainbow Bridge. His name was Momus. Oasis, the Hesperides, the Moirae, the Caries, Nemesis, Philotes, Garrus, and Eris, and the cat that you saw at the beginning of the video, her name is Eris, named after the goddess of strife and discord, and chaos. And when she was younger, she was a very chaotic little kitty. Anyway, so that is it for a party. And for the rest of these gods that you see here. So, I hope that you enjoy. And like I said, there's Eris right there. Hi, baby girl. There's my baby. She's my elderly baby. If you like what you're seeing, feel free to drop a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also you can also find me on TikTok, same username as here, and you can also find me on Twitch as well. Both of those are linked in my channel, so if you want to go check those out, you can. Feel free to follow me on those as well. I am currently streaming Oblivion, the original, not the remaster, on Twitch. So feel free to check that out. And with that being said, I hope that you have a wonderful day.